G'day subscribers. Today we're going to give you some tips, tell you what we've been doing in the Jive Talking Garage, and also give you an update on my FJ. You're with Jules Knight on Jive Talking Garage. Okay, folks, some of our members have been asking me some questions lately and information to find out and so on, which is great. One of the things that I enjoy doing. I got a question about distributors. Now, this one is the one off my FJ, and it's part number 7402892. So as soon as I see a 740 part number, straight away I'll zero in on the fact that, okay, it's pretty much okay for an FJ, and then it just needs to be looked at further. So this one, and there's a few different models. Now you'll notice this one's painted blue. Now FJ will be, the cup itself will be Bosch brown. Now, what would be required here? Now, the difference between a 12 volt and a 6 volt for a grey motor distributor is pretty similar. They'll have a 12 volt condenser. It's suitable for the motor. Grey motor's grey motor. But really, that's it. There's a few different models, and I know Dave from Racing Developments is really good across all of the models of the different Bosch distributors. You can see, let's see there, Bosch. So it gives you a bit of an idea. And the part number's over there. And it's made in Australia. So I think it's a terrific little Australian-made item. So, distributor, Bosch brown. Now, in refurbishing it, I'd send it to someone who actually knows what they were doing as far as what the internals are for the distributor. That's a little bit beyond me, given the resources that I've got with folks that are smarter than me as far as all this is concerned, so that's fine. Now, I've shown you the colour. I've got enough made for distributor, respraying the regulator box, starter motor, and the body of the generator, because the generator fins are black. So you can either get that made up as just solid color, or if you don't have access to, and I'm looking down there because that's where my compressor is, the Renegade 310. If you don't have access to a compressor and a gun, what I did last time was I went and saw my old mate, the late Rotten Ron, and said, oh, I need some paint for the generator and starter motor. And he goes, don't worry, Jules the Terror. And he just went, there's the can, and he had it put in a pressure can for me. He had it on the shelf, so that was terrific. So that's one way you can actually do it. Go to your paint place, your signature paints, your whatever else, and just ask them to make up that colour and put it in a pressure pack can for you, which they are readily able to do now. So that will get you the right colour. Now, while we're talking about that colour, this is the jack for my FJ, my telescopic jack. We painted this first. I think we went a selective Chev colour. Chev? Yes. And I know that Mopar have a Hemi orange as well. But look, in my case, I was trying to be exact, so that's why I went and had it made up and just paid for a made up litre of colour. So you can do that too. Now, the hints. I've been asked about upper cylinder lubricant. So that's Maury's upper cylinder lubricant. So the purpose of lead, and I'm I'm talking to the young players here, now, not the gurus that are I'm lucky enough to have as subscribers. So when we had lead petrol, before unleaded petrol came out, one of the purposes of lead was to lubricate the upper cylinder, valves, rocket gear, all that sort of stuff. Valves more so than anything else in the seats, I should really say. That's to correct myself. So what happened is, since we don't have that anymore, you will hear when some heads get reconditioned, like for instance for my Mustang, for the Windsor 289 heads, I asked them to put stainless steel seats in them. So, I'm combating the fact that lead's not in petrol anymore, and I don't have to then add upper cylinder lubricant. So if you can get seats put in the valve seats, where the valve actually homes back into, it helps. Particularly now we don't have leaded petrol. Now, one of the other things that I saw when a car was being serviced with the gurus is the use of silicone spray. Now, people think, what the hell do you need silicone spray for? Excuse me. They were using, what they did was, this was sprayed in the Bailey channel, the inside Bailey channel. And what the effect of it was doing was making the windows easier to wind up, more so than down. Down's pretty easy, but the winding up, that's what they used. And I'm thinking, that's really, really clever. So silicone lubricant, I got that, and also another can, which obviously escapes me at the point of talking about it, of white grease lubricant. I just got it from Aldi. They just had it there on special, so I thought, you beauty, I'm going to get me some of that. So that was, you pick up these things anywhere, and it's like a swap meet. Grab things when you find it, you think, oh yeah, that's a good idea, I'll use that. So we've talked about Morley's, we've talked about the silicone. Now, last weekend it was really good to get our hands dirty. We helped two members. One had lack of oil in her Holden, so it was good to go to the other side of town, take oil to them, get the engine stable, and then bring it back to the Jive Talking garage and do a service on the car. So Lachlan, thank you for looking after her. That was excellent, and it's good to look after members. Helps everybody, which is what excuse me, firstly we have the channel for, and secondly it's what the Holden and car movement is for. Now, the next point I wanted to talk about was this other job that we had. Now, I was reached out to about putting a alloy radiator into an FJ. Now, that was fine. It's a nice FJ. The guy's the new owner. He's having a lot of issues with sorting it out. Excuse me. And similarly to me, when I got my first one, that car fought me every inch of the way, and the same is happening to our member. So it was good to go over there. We sorted him out with some screws and clips for the upper baffle panel, and also the radiator we looked at. Now, this one he'd bought online. Now, I know you can get them on eBay and wherever else. I don't know if you got it on eBay or not, but he got it online. Now, the top brackets fitted. They fitted reasonable. So we just had to elongate those holes a little bit to get them to match up with the body without taking too much metal out of those top brackets at all. Whereas the bottom holes were not even close. And I've even seen this online, but because I haven't done alloy radiators before, I'd forgotten. But when I was there, I was thinking, especially when this popped up. And you think if people a vendor goes to so much trouble as to get a really good looking alloy radiator done, they'd get the bottom brackets in line with the holes. It shouldn't be up to the owner, the purchaser, to redo their work for them. Anyway, so what we had to do was not use the double-ended bolts with a cushioning effect in them. Excuse me. And the other thing was, in doing that, we could at least set the top up, which allowed us to get the bottom right. And I know our member, he was good enough to do the bottom. So it was then a matter of, like I think the holes, let's just say, I don't know, however many centimeters, they weren't right. They weren't even close. However, I felt so sorry for him, but it was good to go back there later on. And he rejigged it. You have to turn the drill upside down and drill upside down through metal, creating fresh holes both sides. And then he was able to get the, 4 sets of nuts, bolts, washers, and spring washers in there to actually secure this firmly and in a safe manner. So that was great. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about as far as tips go is, I'm just going to reach out a shot for a moment. Now, this, I find this is really valuable for me. And it's something I learned from David Johnson, and it is to do with the making up of templates. So that is the template for an eyebrow. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's an eyebrow or a scratch plate or the little side bonnet scratch plates. If you make up a template, right, they're used for parts or accessories or a new piece that you're putting on your car. You don't know exactly where to place the holes, to drill the holes. Now, what a template allows you to do is actually line this up on your car and actually get it about right. Now, I've got 1, 2, 3 holes in this little sample, and I'll actually do a segment on making templates for people and show them. But these are really good for getting things right. Because let's face it, you don't want to drill an extra hole in a car, particularly a stocky. And so from that perspective, templates save you a lot of trouble, eliminate a lot of risk as far as drilling holes in the wrong place, and also, getting things right. Like I took one of our members through, excuse me, a process recently where they wanted to put the little line scratch ornaments on the side of their bonnet. And the secret is to make these. Excuse me. I even made one for the professor in South Australia and sent it to him for his putting the bird on his late model FX Ute. But because I've got the whole, so what I've done is I've just got normal manila folder. I've made an impression on the original article. In this case, it's the spear for the guard. So I've been able to push the spear down onto the manila folder, which has told me where the bolts need to be. And so I've then punched those out, which has then allowed me to slip the bolts through the holes, and then it's given me an outline then of the spear or the item, doesn't matter what it is. But so then I've traced it around so that then I can cut this all out, and then that is a direct replica of the item. And so it just goes literally straight on the panel, and I can determine precisely where the holes are that need to be drilled. So that's nice and easy for that. Now with the FJ, things have been at a standstill for a little while. So I've been holding off buying things and getting things and all those sorts of things because I'm looking for a new job. So I'm just being very cautious as far as the stuff that I get. And I haven't really structurally done anything more on the car because I don't want to spend any money until we're ready to roll. So the long and short of it is, as soon as I get a new job, it's press the go button, we're on. Which leads me to the next part. And a bit of advice wouldn't be bad either, just quietly from our subscribers. So what I have to do is a small amount of work on the firewall. I've got a little crack near the battery, and I'm looking over there because the FJ is just there. So that's fine. And I think, no, I don't think it was the original owners in Glen Iris, but someone's drilled 5 holes to put a Trico windscreen washer bottle in there. I would suggest either that or a heater, one or the other. But there's no other big heater holes to take the pipes in there, though. So the heater idea might be out. So it might be Trico that they've put in there. So I want to have those welded up, and also the strip where there's a crack. What they've done is they've just put a plate over it, a small metal plate, and put 4 holes and on top and 4 holes underneath, and just pop riveted that over the crack, and fingers crossed it won't break. That's not good enough. It's got to be perfect. And so as far as I'm concerned, it's drill those out, weld those 8 holes up, go to the other side, weld those 5 holes up, and then grind and file, dress the strip all the paint, dress the firewall, and paint the firewall body color all the way to the bottom seam where the chassis meets the body, basically. Chassis meets the firewall, I should say. And then also paint the apron panels semi-gloss black, same as I did last time. So that's what I'm thinking in the engine bay. Obviously, I need the sills welded in. Either way, I need the sills welded in, and I've already got them for the inner and outer sills. So it's sills, inner and outer, wet the sills in with Ocean Mist Green. I'll buy 12 litres or whatever, put it aside. I'm probably going to sandblast underneath. So I want to paint the floor on the underside of the floor in red oxide, and then do the cargo boards in Mundy Brown. While that's happening, the front suspension will go to Russell. Russell wants wants me to give him the sandblasted front suspension, paint it, whatever, and so he can put that together. And I think the only thing I'm missing at the moment is upper inners. So that's the only thing I need to look for, and that'll come as soon as I hit the go button. The gearbox is checked out better than normal. That was really, really good. I had the Brains Trust do that, and I was quite surprised with the report. So that was terrific. Got the motor, so that's ready to go. Well, the temporary motor, at least, anyway. I'll put in the Victoria Police motor later. The new short block that was done in 1963. So it's not that new, really. It's just a short block, which was a replacement. It was bought new in 1963. So that'll be the one that actually gets sent out to be redone. But I've got another one there to go. I've got spare guards for it. I've got a floor mat. I don't know about the bonnet. I'll put a picture on board so that people can see the rust that's on the bonnet. It looks like the Sydney bloke who's bought it has kept it in a carport over a long period of time, and because he bought it off the Melbourne people, and when you look at photos from the Melbourne people, there's no rust on top of the bonnet. Yet, if it was kept face out in a carport in Sydney, there may have been things on the bonnet and water's gotten under that and rusted between whatever the item was and also the bonnet itself. So don't be surprised if I just come out with a new bonnet. But so the quandary is, and I've also got a floor mat for it and all that sort of stuff. So the quandary is stage one. So either way, I'm doing sills, I'm doing an engine bay, I'm doing a loom, I'm doing the floor properly inside the cabin. The seats are really good. Well, I'll say really good. They're good from when they were done. Because don't forget, it's a panel wagon, and I don't want people to correct me saying, oh, it's a panel van. It's a two-door panel wagon. So it's a panel van on the outside, station wagon on the inside. So it's panel wagon. So that being the case, Dynamat on the floor. And the same with my ute. They actually, Will Skirman put some Hessian product down, so we'll find out from him what is the right product to use. And then the floor mat for the front, and I'll do a floor mat in the back. So that will look pretty good. I'm going to do Mundy Brown boards irrespective in the back anyway and get them right because the correct size is already there. There's only one that really needs attention. But knowing me, I'm probably going to do the whole lot anyway, so don't care. I've got new runners for them, so I need to cut the runners the same length as the boards that are in there, so that's okay. So that's part of stage one, together with me wetting in the new sills into the green colour, because the sills are going to be black, and I'll just put some undercoat on them and wet them in green to the body so they come up the body, and whatever rust is in there, because there's got a bit of rust in the guards, and I'll just fix that up and that'll be fine. Now, there's a little bit of rust in the doors and a little bit of rust in the tailgate. So stage one wise, I'm proposing to, shall we say, just get that stuff in there and put it out the door. Just so we can drive the thing, and with a decent motor and a new gearbox and new wheel bearings and new brakes and all that sort of stuff. I'll have a nice car to take to the Nationals at the end of next year. The outside of the car will look very weathered. People say, oh, it's patina. Well, it is whatever you want to call it to be. So that's it. And then maybe after that, take the panels off and fix any little bits of rust that are in the doors, put a new back tailgate skin on it, and go the whole hog. That would be stage two. So at the moment, I'm in a conundrum whether I do stage one or go the whole hog and do stage two. So to my way of thinking, it's very sort of dependent on time. I could probably be, with a bit of luck, driving it this year. Like with my main aim, I'm pretty close at the moment with some opportunities, so that's good. However, I just want to drive my FJ. I want to do things with it. I want to take it on runs, and I want to put accessories on it and show folks, well, this is how you do the scratch plates, and this is what you use for the fasteners, and this is how you put the blinds on, and this is what an anti-glare mirror is, and this is a vanity mirror, and this is a this, and this is a that. So, you are doing clips showing people how to do things, because it's one thing talking, but I think, you know, part of my job is with Jive Talking Garage is teaching people how to do things. And I think that's really important. I take it seriously, and I like helping people. So that's what I want to get to. So I don't know whether we're going to do stage 1 or stage 2. So any advice you've got, happy to listen to it. Don't forget to put it down in the comments. And while we're talking about the comments, thank you for people who have commented about stuff. It's all been positive, so I've been really happy about that. So thank you so much. We've got, gee whiz, 927 people on Jive Talking Garage now on Facebook, and also over 200 on YouTube. So if we can get a few more of the 900 from Facebook onto the YouTube subscription, well, that's even better. So don't forget to like, share, and tell your friends. But more importantly, enjoy your Holden.